Ladies and gentlemen, the beat goes on.
Turn it up.
What you're about to hear may cause your speakers to explode.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the feed.
Get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
There you go. Fortnox. Welcome to the One and Done series. Another episode. We're going to attempt to talk about this record. The panel, if you are not familiar with the way the One and Done show works, everybody's listened to this record. We're going to go around the horn. Everybody's going to give their rating out of 10. And we're here just to try to turn you on or not turn you on to music. But tonight, I think after that opening track, Lucifer's Eyes, I think we might be turning some people on to this record that they might not know about. Anyway, got Martin Popoff. Look at this. Oh, here we go. He's already commenting. Look, Fortnox was okay. Even us kids could even tell there was something missing. It's almost like the difference between Rock City and Narada. Wait a minute. What is that band's name? Narita. I always fuck that up. Rock City is Fortnox. Gotcha. All right. Well, anyway, what did everybody think of that opening track? Now, for everybody that watches these shows live, I'm going to say you get the bonus. It's better that you tune in live because you do get to hear the music. Because on the archive version, I'm going to yank the music out. So it's always better to be here live during the live show, and it's more fun. Anyway. So Fortnox, what can I say about this band? This is they put out the one record, the debut album, 1982 on Epic Records. It was, I think when I listen to this, I can hear April Wine, Priest, Riot, of course, Def Leppard. These guys came out of Atlanta. It's melodic, it's heavy, it's catchy. There's riffs galore. You just heard plenty of riffs on Lucifer. This record clocks in about 35 minutes, 11 tracks. It's bang, bang, bang. No ballads here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to play a couple of more songs from this. We do want to hear from you in the chat. And I'm going to throw it over to, well, let me get back to my screen, damn it. If I could only see what's going on. I'm going to go, I guess I'm going to go as I see it. I'm going to go Webb. I'm going to go loop around to Byron and then John the Music Nut and then myself. So, Webb, what's your thoughts on this and your rating out of 10?
Well, I tell you, after the third or fourth listen, it kind of stuck with me, and I like it. Isn't it Chris Tsangarides that produced it? Yeah. How do you say his name, guys?
Tsangarides?
Tsangarides, yeah. And so, I mean, if he's behind the band, they thought they were going places. And I mean, if they brought in a producer that had a big name and of course went on to do other things. I listened to it, and the first song, On the Prowl, didn't really grab me as an opener. And I said, this is good sounding guitar. The lyrics are very, I don't know if you want to say a GED from the Gene Simmons school of lyrics, but the music's good. And once I got into track 2, Storm Inside My Head, which they had MTV video to, I said, okay, this is a better song. And I said, wow, this should have been the opener, but I liked it. It was great solos. I like the lyric, not a cloud in the sky, but there's a storm inside my head. I don't know.
There's a storm inside my heart, Logan.
Yeah.
Just to let Logan know.
I think
he's always concerned about my welfare.
There's a storm inside my pants, is what Gene Simmons would have said. But yeah, it's got a catchy chorus, and I like the singer. There's 2 singers, right? The bass player and the guitar player, and I like the guy that sings track 2 better. I like his voice a little better, and so I said, okay, this is pretty good. I'm liking this. Third song, Running From Yourself. It's kind of 80s. Early 80s hard rock metal melodic over AOR metal, and I said, okay, this is good. As I went through it, it didn't get a lot better, but it wasn't bad, and I loved Lucifer's Eyes and the song that you just played. I thought that was the best track on the album. I love the drums in the beginning on the toms and everything. And the guy who's the lead singer, I can't remember. The lead guitar player. Give me the name. Rick Fowler. Yeah, he does some great solos. I mean, I like the sound of his solos. I like the tone of his guitar. The Beast in Me, track 4, has a Driving and Crying, Fly Me Courageous riff. I mean, it's like way ahead of time, but it's almost the same thing. Drummer's kind of plotty, could be a little bouncier, a little more upbeats and everything. Rockin' in America is, I'm just moving through the tracks. Rockin' in America, I feel like I'm hearing a Dokken Crocus riff, maybe. I don't know in there. And it's all the songs are good, but they're not great. Lucifer's Eyes is really good, like I said. Another Lady, Moving On, it was okay. Now, on Spotify, there was 15 songs, so I guess they gave us some bonus tracks. It goes to 15.
It was on the CD. Because my
on the Rock Candy CD, they have 4 bonus tracks.
Okay, yeah, and so the original album you said went to 11, right?
Hyper Rock.
So yeah, Don't Scratch the Surface. I put, was this a bonus track? Because I didn't know, because it kind of sounded like it was maybe one they decided not to include. Hyper Rock is pretty gritty. I like that. I don't know if it's the bass player or the lead guitar singing on vocals, but one of them kind of has a little Dusty Hill kind of gritty kind of vibe to it. And it has, I was saying to Byron before, they're from Atlanta, but it doesn't have a Southern, I don't hear Southern rock really, right? Yeah, John, I see John. I don't hear, definitely not a twang like, Lynyrd Skynyrd and the Big Five or Big Six Southern rock bands. There's no Southern drawl. There's no whiskey drinking, bar fight kind of Southern rock feel, It sounds like maybe they're just saying they're Southern rock, but it didn't come off to me as Southern rock at all. And, I got through the album, and first listen was okay. Second listen, a little better. Third listen, okay. Driving in the car in Atlanta traffic, it got better. But I would give the music, guitar solos, guitar riffs, there's some big riffs. I'd give the music a 7 out of 10. I'd give the lyrics a 4 out of 10. I mean, some of them are bad. I mean, I was laughing out loud, but some people don't.
Is it as bad as Kiss lyrics though?
Yes. You want me to read some of it?
Only if it has something to do with your head down in my lap or something like that.
Unlock my cage and feed the beast in me. Listen to that.
You know what that means.
Well, I know what it means. Yeah. You can have a glass of wine, but I've got an empty cup. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It sounded like they were like really happy about these lyrics too. They deliver it very seriously, but I'll give
Kevin says they're no 38 special.
Yes. I just don't hear the Southern rock. I'll give the lyrics a 4 and the music a 7. We'll divide that by 2, so 5.5. I hope that doesn't sound too bad.
5.5 seems low.
Okay, 6. I'll give it a 6.
No. I want you to be honest. If that's what is, if it's a 5.5, it's 5.5. That's fine. Kevin came in. I got your score, Kevin. He could easily give this album an 8.5 out of 10. I think the songs are really good, but not the best production. I think, I haven't gotten to what I'm going to say. I'm going to wait. Oh, wait a minute. Who is this Popoff guy?
Yeah.
Martin Popoff, I'd go with a 6.5 out of 10 for this album. I'm less forgiving just on the heaviness alone versus how we were back then. Plus, this is 1982, not that early. It doesn't sound like a 1982 album. This sounds like a 1977 album. 6.5. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent, Webb. Good work. Thank you for your score. We're going to move right on. Mr. B.M. Bolt. And B.M. Bolt is the gentleman, the panelist who pushed this to the panel. Byron, what's your thoughts?
Way was it probably 3.5 years ago, Grant, when I was on here, we were doing those obscure album episodes.
Yeah.
And I brought this up because I had come across it from a friend who had it. And I was like, what the hell is this? I thought it was pretty obscure. So I'd shown it back then. And then I think, did you do a one band?
I did a one band, one artist show. We played couple of tracks from it. And I think for the most part, from what I remember, it got pretty favorable. People pretty much dug it. I'd have to go look at it again. I can't remember, but I don't remember people being harsh about it or anything. Yeah.
So you'd done that, and I thought, God, we should do a one and done on these guys. So here we are. You mentioned Chris Tsangarides was producing, and this was on Epic, so it was a major label release,
Yeah, but it sounds like it was recorded in the back room in some place in Texas.
It's probably a back room in Atlanta somewhere, but
probably.
Yeah. But I'd say it's kind of heavy, but it's not overly heavy. It is 82, so bands are starting to get a lot heavier. But to me, it's a little heavier than a lot of your 70s stuff. The songs are pretty radio friendly, though. So, like I said, it's not overly heavy, but they're all pretty short. I read someone quoted that they thought these guys were kind of a poor man's Y&T. I don't know if I agree with that, but I don't know. In some ways, it reminds me a little bit of Tigers at Pantang. Not with John Sykes, though. This guy's no John Sykes. Maybe a little bit of Riggs, too. It's kind of that feel.
It's kind of, I can hear the Riggs feel. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, and that's the same time period. So, the guys are solid players, but nothing really stands out about them to me. Like I said, Ricky Fowler on guitar, Joel Shipp on bass, Nathan DeFoor on drums. And I was reading on Wikipedia that Fowler, he did some side projects with Bill Berry from REM, Dave Schools of Widespread Panic, and Randall Bramlett, who says he played with. He was probably in Traffic, I think, on the reunion. I don't know. When was he in Traffic? Whatever. But I know
was he in Traffic?
That's what it said on Wikipedia. Maybe he was in that reunion Traffic album, but I don't know that he was in the early Traffic. Any of those early versions. All right, let's get to the tracks.
All right.
The first song on the Prowl, I thought that was pretty decent. It could have gotten some airplay, but it wasn't overly heavy, but the chorus was pretty accessible. Storm Inside My Head. It mentioned it was MTV Top 20, I guess.
We're going to play that after this.
I have no recollection of hearing this in 82 or seeing it on MTV. It's a little heavier than the first track. Really good chorus. Now, Running From Yourself, there's a riff in that, and it reminds me a little bit of a faster version of Y&T Contagious. That main lick in that, the Contagious one's a little slower. It was all right. I couldn't put my finger on that Beast in Me riff, but I think Webb said, was it Driving and Crying?
Yeah, it sounds like Flying Courageous.
Yeah, I couldn't put my finger on it, so you said that. Because I kind of like that track. Rock and Roll City kind of sucks. What About Me? I thought was decent. I really dig Lucifer's Eyes. We heard that. So I don't really need to say a whole lot about it, but I dig it quite a bit. Rockin' in America. Yeah, it's pretty accessible song, but I really think the lyrics are cheesy. I'm going to agree with Webb that a lot of the lyrics are pretty cheesy on this album. And I also think that side 2 is not nearly as good as side 1. It's not as good, but Lucifer's Eyes is really bringing side 2 for me. Another Lady, I thought it was pretty decent, but then the lyrics still weren't great. I thought Don't Scratch the Surface was not that great. It's like they had to come up with one more song or something to fill the album out, and they're just throwing random crappy ideas together into one song. And the hyper rock, this hyper rock's pretty hard, I thought, and I like it, but the lyrics just seem really stupid. So I sampled some of the bonus tracks, but I didn't really put any notes for them. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give it a 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So now let's play. This is the single. Storm Inside My Head was the single that was released that, I mean, when I hear it, I couldn't remember this track either. But everybody know it. Let us know what you think of this. You know, we're keeping it interactive. And then after that, we'll go over to John the Music Nut, get his thoughts. And anybody who knows this record that hasn't given me their score, this would be a perfect time to do that. So let's play it. Storm Inside My Head, the single off of the record. Here we go. Admit it's a catchy ditty.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, it's good. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't think that there's just something about that production now that it just doesn't. I think the songs are okay. Maybe the lyrics are stupid. I'm not a lyric guy, so I don't pay attention to lyrics so much. I'm always listening to the guitars and stuff. Well, let's throw it over to. So, do people dig this in the chat? Did you dig this or no? Let me know. John, the Music Nut, let's throw it over to you. What's your thoughts on this record and your rating out of 10?
Okay, thanks, guys. They obviously have some talent. The riffs are here. They got a little fire to them. I think they needed some help in the songwriting department. The first 4 songs are okay. Storm Inside My Head, that sounds like the single. That's decent. On the Prowl is a solid opener. You got some nice ad-libbing. You got nice lyrical guitar solos here throughout. But, I mean, it's okay. Running From Yourself. It's got a nice driving rhythm, but it doesn't really jump out. The Beast in Me, you're hoping with that intro that maybe they're going to pick up the pace and the tempo, and they don't. It's got a nice stop-start rhythm, but, first 4 songs, I think, cool riffs, okay songs. Rock and Roll City, no, I'm not into that. I'm not into the chorus at all. Rock, baby. Let's go down to Rock and Roll City.
You're gonna make me play it.
It sounds like when Saxon was trying to be more Americanized between 84 and 86. And it just didn't work, but this is even worse than that. Because Saxon has a song called Rock City on Crusader, but that's better than this. I don't like it at all. What About Me? You hear that cowbell. Nice drum fills. The song, it's all right. Lucifer's Eyes is the best song. To me, that has a nice Diamond Head feel to it. I love the intro. I like the way the drums are recorded. It's pretty cool. To me, it's by far the best song on a proper album. Rockin' in America, no. See Rock and Roll City there. I mean, just after this, like on the proper album, you clearly think, oh, they needed a song doctor. They needed like a Jeff Paris to come in here who co-wrote Gotta Let Go with Lita Ford, and a little bit later Lipstick and Leather for Y&T and Crying for Vixen, songs like that. They were on Epic. They got Chris Tsangarides producing. They're getting these great spots, opening spots on major tours, but the album just doesn't have any legs to it. It sounds okay in the background. The riffs are cool, but I mean, it's not something you haven't heard before if you've listened to a lot of hard rock music. I've heard comparisons to April Wine. Okay, it sounds like April Wine from like First Glance to Power Play, but the songs aren't as good. Now, April Wine weren't the greatest songwriters, but I think by the time they weren't. By the time First Glance came,
how dare you?
They were good. But for a while, they were trying to find their sound.
True.
And by then, they got it. But, I mean, not all the songs were zingers. They wrote some great ones. But the albums were like 8s. So, Another Lady, I mean, and then what happens here is eventually the choruses aren't good. And even early on, the choruses are decent. They don't just grab you by the throat or anything. It takes a lot of listens to really get into it, and it still doesn't leave a great impression. I don't like the last 2 songs, Don't Scratch the Surface or Hyper Rock at all. Again, it's just cool riffs. The songs are short. Okay, that's fine, but the songs have to be developed. And I think they needed to work more on the songs here. And it's kind of a bummer because you hear the potential here. It's a bummer that Epic just dropped them after one album, because maybe they could have got somebody in to help these guys out, and then the second album would have been better. That's just my opinion. Now, if you go with the Rock Candy release with the extra tracks, there's a cool track on here called Stand to Blame, which would have been a great single. I think that should have been on the proper album. That's probably one of the 2 or 3 best songs. Actually, I'd say that's the best song on here next to Lucifer's Eyes.
Shit, we should have played that.
John, let me tell you, it starts out with the drum beat. It's kind of like Shake Me from Cinderella.
Yes.
3 years earlier or 4 years earlier. And I started hearing like Tom Kiefer kind of riffs in that song. So that's what I wrote down. So when John said that, I had to add. Yeah.
John's just ripping this record to shreds.
It's not that it stinks. I don't think any of the songs.
It sounds like a bar band that put out a record on Epic.
Yes, and the production. Okay, Chris Tsangarides did Renegade. I'm not a big fan of Renegade, the album itself, but I love the production. I loved what Chris brought to Metal on Metal by Anvil. I like what he did for Mean Streak by Y&T a year later. Here, I don't think the production really stands out. As a matter of fact, the last 4 songs, the bonus tracks, produced by Eddie Offord, I think sound better.
Well, and you think that the best track on the bonus track was what? Which one?
Stand to Blame. Stand to Blame's very good. This Ain't Love, This Is War. That has a good
we can play it.
It just the verses they probably could have worked on a little bit, but Stand to Blame would be the second best song if they put this on a proper album, in my humble opinion.
All right, well, we can play it, but go ahead, John. Sorry.
Thank you. But the playing's is good. I like Rick Fowler's guitar solos. He's a very lyrical player, which I really, really enjoy. But the songs, even though they're short, they're just not developed more often than not. It's something I would have liked if I bought this when I was 11 years old. When it came out, I would have liked it. And by the time I was 17, I would have gave it away. That's good. I'm serious. That's just how I feel. And I don't think it's something that I would go back to.
Okay. All right. Hey, we're all honest on this. The thing about the Warehouse, we're honest.
There's talent in this band. And the riffs are there. They just didn't put it all together. That's how I feel. I saw a comparison to Riggs. Riggs had the songs.
Riggs have the songs. Yeah.
Riggs have the songs. I don't think the songs are all here, although I do love Lucifer's Eyes. So I'm going to give it a 5. Okay. And if you add the 4 bonus tracks, bump it up to a 5.5.
All right. Not even a. Do you want to go 5 or 5.5?
All right, let's go 5.5. That's
okay. Bless your heart. All right. All right, damn it. We're going to play that. Let's play The Beast in Me, which I think is another solid track. Am I not? I don't, maybe I'm wrong. I'm just a monkey. I really don't know what I'm talking about. Beast in Me, I want to hear what everybody thinks in the chat. I think The Beast in Me is pretty damn good. So a bar band made good. It's what it sounds like to me. The riffs are there. Is it the production that kills it? I don't know.
You could have used another guitar in here too.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it would have worked better if this was a 2-guitar band. They need something fuller.
More flush. Yeah, maybe that's the problem.
Well, I think it's one of the issues.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues.
Yeah, there's more than one.
There's a lot of issues. Okay. Well, this is how I look at this record. I think the riffs are here. It does sound like a bar band that made good, and it does sound like this is a bunch of demos. I'm surprised that Epic even put this thing out. I would have thought that Epic would have made these guys go back in, polish it up. Or was it just one of those things that, they signed them, let's throw it out there and see if it sticks. And and it didn't stick. And they just said, well, whatever, we can use this as a tax write-off. This is just a tax write-off band is what I think. But there are things I like on it. I mean, I think On the Prowl's different. I think that's a decent opener. The riffs are great. These guys have riffs. They're melodic. A lot of these songs, when I listen to them, I mean, they're punchy, straightforward, but I don't really see anything that brings these guys out in front that when I listen to them, they're very identifiable and I want to go back and listen to it again. I would keep this CD. I mean, there are things on it I like. Storm Inside My Head, I think that's a decent track. It's catchy. Good melodies. We played that. Beast in Me, we just played that. I thought that was a decent. It's got great riffs. These guys have great riffs. It just, everything sounds like a demo, and I think it needs better production. I think that might help. I'm not a lyrics guy, so I don't really pay attention to the lyrics. Lucifer's Eyes, probably it is the best track on the record. I don't even think you really have to do anything to it. I think it's perfect as it is. Heavy melodic, great hooks. What more do you want? What would I give this record? I'm not going to be quite as harsh as everybody else. I think that this is we've got a wide range. We've got an 8.5, a 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 5, 5.5. I think I'd be happy to put this as a I don't want to go 6.5. I think it's better than a 6.5. I'd give it a 7. I don't mind this record at all. I just think it just needs some work. But, I can get into it and get into the groove. Mr. Absolute 69 gives it a 6. All right, I can take that. Anybody else? Everybody else probably already mentioned it. Dave Honorato, do you know this record? Did you give a rating? I know you know this record. You know all these damn records. The track that, what time is it? 36 minutes in. The track that John the Music Nut mentioned, we're going to go ahead and play it.
Stand to Blame.
What is it? Stand to Blame. Okay, let me bring it up. I have to bring it up in a different way. So give me a moment to do that. We will play it, and he says this is the best track on the damn record. So
next to Lucifer's Eyes.
Okay.
Lucifer's Eyes is another animal. That's cool.
Stand to Blame. All right. Let me get rid of this graphic because we don't need the graphic anymore. Hey, everybody. All right, here we go. Let's hear the Stand to Blame. And you said this is a different producer, correct?
Yes. It's Eddie Alford.
Eddie Alford. Oh, wait. We know Eddie's. Okay, let's listen to it. We want to know what you think. And I don't know what happened to these tracks. I don't know why. These are bonus tracks. Were these recorded for an album after this? I don't know. If someone knows anything about these bonus tracks, let me know. What?
Does the Rock Candy booklet discuss this?
It probably does, but
you got too many CDs to read them all.
I can't read them all, and I can't see at the moment. Here we go. Listen, we're going to listen to Stand to Blame. Here we go.
Yeah, like the last part of the song with the yeah, okay. Ditko left him on the cutting room floor, but outside that, I can imagine this song being played on Rock 107 WEZX FM back in 1982. That's right.
The sound of it does sound like it sounds Vapor Trails production. A lot of distortion in it, but it's a demo.
I think
it does.
When you compare it to the original album, it sounds like a Vapor Trails production.
I just did a show at the Anthony Ferraro people, and we didn't do it live. We just recorded it of our favorite tracks from the favorite albums of the 2000s, and Vapor Trails came up. But someone in the chat or doing the ranking likes Vapor Trails. I'm just letting it there. You know what I mentioned during the show is, how AI has gotten so sophisticated. You've got Get Back. They were able to take all those tracks, all those Beatle tracks apart, from Let It Be, and decipher it and reconfigure it and clean them up. This is what I propose. Go back to Vapor Trails and have AI clean up the distortion and reprocess it all. Split up the tracks, clean it up, because the AI with the audio could clean up all that distortion and it would be gone. That's what I propose. Now it's time for the second remix of Vapor Trails. So that would help it. I can't listen to that damn record because it sounds so. Wait a minute. Grant, did you see that Terry Brown remixed Grace Under? Oh, for the.
Yes.
Yeah, but I wonder how it's mastered. All those Rush things are brick walled beyond belief.
You think Grace Under Pressure will be, though? I don't know if Grace Under Pressure will be.
I'm talking about all those Rush remasters. The ones, the 4 CD sets that they've done. God, they're all just maxed out to, my ears want to bleed. But that intrigues me that Terry Brown remixed Grace Under Pressure. Guess I might have to hear that. All right, cool. Well, let's look at what we've got. Let's tally it up. Okay, this sounds about right. I've tallied everyone's numbers, and we have a 6.16. So I'm going to go with a 6.2. I think that sounds pretty fair. This is not a great record by any means. It's not a terrible record. It's just in the middle. I can see why it never made it. And I think Epic, when they put it out, they never anticipated it making it either. So it is what it is.
Well, they opened for Aerosmith and Cheap Trick and April Wine, and so they got some good slots, but they might have been that band that we all saw, where they're up there and you're like, you're getting your beer or whatever you're doing and you're walking around and you hear them and you say, yeah, that's pretty good, but like, are they going to end soon? That might have been kind of what was happening with these guys.
Yeah, Terry Brown is great. Terry Brown is Rush's George Martin, by no doubt.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else have anything to mention for we might as well wrap it up. We don't have to go long on these shows. We talked about it. We played tracks. So again, if you're listening to this on the replay and there's still music here, there won't be music because I'm going to rip all the music out. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Anybody else have anything to add before we wrap this up?
No.
Johnny Music, no. What's happening on your channel? Anything you want to mention?
Okay, the next live cut will be this coming Saturday, January 24, 2026, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be joined by Mike Ladano from Grab a Stack of Rock, as well as writer Robert Lawson, and we're going to talk about Steve Earle and the Duke's first live album, Shut Up and Die Like an Aviator.
Cool.
Nice.
From 1991. That's right.
Yeah.
And also on Thursday night, I have my album after show. Me and Tim Derling talked about the album that came out after Rumors for Fleetwood Mac. We're going to talk about Tusk. So that'll be on
Tusk.
Thursday night.
Awesome.
January 22. There you go.
All right. So as you know, if you haven't subscribed to John's channel, his channel is listed below with the links down to the bottom on the front page. Give John some love. Subscribe, give him some love. Anyway, not all these record, huh?
I just remembered a week from tonight.
Oh, go ahead.
Part 3 in the Gary Moore series is coming out.
Nice.
Yes.
We're doing the Jet era records. So Back on the Streets, G-Force, which we already did a show on, but we'll cover it a little bit. The Live in the Marquee and Dirty Fingers. So that's what we're going to be covering next time.
All right, that's next week. And tomorrow night, we have a double whammy tomorrow. We have 2 little-known band shows. Webb is on, and also Alex Winter will be on. We have 2 separate shows. We're doing a double. Huh?
The actor, Alex Winter?
We're doing a double. No, not that one. The other one. We're doing a double shot of little-known band. So tune in for that. Hey, Grant, that sealed December's Children is still on the bay for $138 or make offer. Feeling I didn't even know that it came out on CD. You sure that's legit? I think it only was released on vinyl. I don't know. I could be wrong. I didn't know it was on there. All right, anyway, go over to see Tranquility. Evidently, Prog Corner's on, evidently. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just some idiot. We will be here tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Subscribe. Keep it clean. Rap the Rascal. We'll see you on the next one.